We are back again making a video that Chris does not want to make. We're talking about the Wraiths today. First of all, it's a barracks tower. It can move around, which is something that you don't really care about for the barracks aspect, but for the other aspect of moving other towers around, it could matter for you. Moving your best towers in a certain location or whatnot can be very, very effective. This is, of course, something that I cannot calculate whatsoever for you. So if you're thinking that I'm going to calculate this to perfection for you and tell you if this is a good tower at the end of the game, I'm going to try. But I truly am not good with barracks towers. They're not easy to math, okay? You can't math them super duper easily. Any which way, we're going to try. Cost-wise, this is the number. Damage-wise, this is the number. Speed-wise, we're going to have the total capability of attacking 60 times in a minute. If we don't die, if we're attacking a guy the entire time, that's the amount of attacks that we can get out of them, okay? That's not going to be what actually happens here. If that happens, though, this would be the total damage per minute, and this would be our efficiency. So, the efficiency, I'm multiplying by 2, by the way, because we have 2 guys here. So, oddly enough, at the base level, we're going to have a way, way, way higher efficiency than the higher levels. Now, that is not telling the full story again, because, of course, the lower level guys are very, very easy to die. Like, we're talking about 33 health here with 1 baby armor. These guys have 110 health with 2 armor, so they're going to survive a little longer, but nothing absurd. Like, just a little bit longer, basically. But any which way, an efficiency of 7 is actually quite fantastic if you got the max attacks out, but we're never going to make that happen. We have a cooldown of 7 seconds, just in case you want to know, and as far as stallability goes, it got the worst rating on any of the barracks towers. So, if you're looking at total possible damage to stallability, overall loadout here, it was a small difference, but it was a difference nonetheless, that this was the least effective overall. So, keep that in mind. Now, I decided to play the game here and say, well, how many actual attacks am I going to get out of these guys? And I got 42 total attacks out of a Wraith before they ended up dying. This was only with the 4th tier, by the way, so the 3rd tier, 2nd tier, and 1st tier would probably die even faster, but I did not want to count all of them, just to be straight. Again, Chris giving not the full 100% effort on this video. So I just said they all did 42. The actual damage here would be the damage that we can do in those attacks. The efficiency of 2 guys then would be 4.9, 2.9, and 2.4, and 2.2. So clearly, again, we're going down over time. The lower level guys seem to be way, way, way more efficient if they're getting the max attacks out of them, which of course they never actually will. So it really kind of evens out. This is, again, something Ironhide did that's pretty fair. The numbers don't say what they're actually going to do, okay? The actuality of it is it doesn't really matter much. It doesn't matter which one you're buying. They're going to be pretty much the same efficiency across the board here. So just buy whatever you want. Wraiths are going to be fine across the board. But not anything fantastic, by the way. They are a staller tower, after all. Moving on to the abilities, though. This is where things can get a little bit more interesting. So the left side ability here is the Soul Siphon, $200, $300, and $400 total. The damage output is just going to be basically what they can do already, times 50%, 75%, and 100%, which we can easily math out as 10, 15, and 20. Then the speed would be that 60 total times per minute. If we could make it happen, we should say it could happen, right? That's never going to happen, though, by the way. That would be our total damage then, which would lead to an efficiency of 6, which is not bad at all if you're getting the max out of it, but that's never going to happen. The actuality of it is, again, we're probably getting about 42 attacks before we're going to die here. If we take that into consideration, that's the actual damage, and that's our real efficiency, 4.2, which is actually quite fair. Like, if we're getting a maxed out Soul Siphon, fair enough, across the board, actually. And all the same, believe it or not, because it's, again, doing the exact same amount of damage, whether you're doing anything with this thing. So, do what you want with it. 200, 300, 400 are very fair numbers here. We're getting the righteous amount of damage out of these guys. Buy it if you want. And that leads us to our last ability here, the Undying Dread. So, the cost here is going to be 150, 150, and 150. The damage just tells you right here, 60, 120, and 180. And that's true damage as well, so that's something you cannot underestimate. We're only going to... So what I did with this one is I said, how many times are we actually going to die? Because the only way that this is going to happen is if you die. And of course, it's not going to happen every time. Like, you could survive for a really, really long time here and never die. But how many times is it actually going to happen in a real game? And in a minute, if you're actually attacking, which, you know, I mean, other towers can, like, exist and never attack either, so it can be a thing. But if you're attacking the entire time, how often are we likely to die? And I got 8 times in a minute. Okay. That is a real, actual watching the game happen, where the guys are actually getting set out against me. This would be the total damage in that scenario, and this would be efficiency, 3.2. Which is fair. I mean, nothing great, nothing phenomenal. It could be more if you die more often. It could be less if you die less often. That's really up to the amount of deaths that you're going to get. But 3.2 is a very fair and reasonable number overall. I mean, it's a little less than I'd like. Like, 4 is like a solid number for what I think. But also, you've got to keep in mind that we are stalling as well. And that is something you just cannot just overlook very easily. Stalling is a thing. And being able to stall and allow your other targets to do more damage on top of it, pretty freaking amazing, dude. So in which way, are Grim Wraiths bad? No, they're not bad. Are they good? No, not necessarily. I mean, it really depends on what you're doing with them, but it seems like the base Grim Wraiths are going to be the best for you, probably, just for a little bit of stalling aspect. And as you go up to the higher levels, if you're going to buy it, you probably want to go for the left side upgrade, the Soul Siphoning, if they're going to survive, and the Undying Dread, if they're going to die. You really get to pick and choose. If they're dying more, buy this. If they're living more, buy this, but you don't need to buy them both unless you really think that you're want to get the max out of them for no reason. Like, it doesn't really make sense, right? This is one thing, this is the opposite, so it's tough to use it properly. You have to decide what is going to be more useful for you in your situation. Anyways, that's all I got. So I know this was kind of quick and sort of dirty, but that's the numbers that I got. Feel free to check them out if you want to. Yeah, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. I don't think these are fully accurate, by the way. I think I couldn't get it perfect. So anyways, if you enjoyed, press the like button, subscribe, and have a super duper delicious day.